أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Brothers and sisters in Islam, today is the 5th lesson of morphology in English. And before I begin, I would like to inform you that we have decided that this will be wholly in English, and inshallah we will also be doing another one, some other lectures starting from the beginning in Urdu as well. Our last lesson, lesson number 4, we finished with whether a kalima is able to express its own meaning, express itself, and whether it is independent or dependent upon another kalima. And we termed this as aqsam. And I explained to you that there is a ism, a noun, a verb, a fi'l, and a harf, which is a particle. And we finished with the example, Sirtu min al-Basrati ila al-Kufa. I traveled from Basra to Kufa, and we discussed that Sirtu. This is page number 8 of Kitab al-Sarf. We discussed that Sirtu was a fi'l, was a verb, min was a harf, a particle, al-Basra was a noun, ism, ila also a particle, and al-Kufa, it was also a noun. And in this sentence we have one fi'l, one verb, two particles and two nouns. And from this we can understand that particles are there to make sense of a sentence, to join a noun and a verb to make it a sentence. Today, page number 8 of Kitab al-Sarf, we will be looking at something which is termed as Aqsam in Persian. I shall read the description, the contents of the book, and then inshallah I will try to explain it. What I have written on page number 8 is that before the discussion of Aqsam, meaning kalma, which has 6 divisions, some terminologies should be understood. Without understanding these terminologies, it would be quite difficult for me to explain and for you to understand what Aqsam is. Now, number 1, right at the bottom of page number 8, you will see I have written the word Huruf Illat. Illat is termed as an illness. So therefore, these letters will be called sick vowels or sick letters. They are vowels. And there is 3 of them: Waw, Alif, and Ya. And collectively, the sound is Y. The sick letters are 3, collectively referred as Y. Page number 8. This is one terminology. Huruf Illat. Illat is a term or a kalima or a word that is naturally spoken, used at the time of distress, at the time of pain. For example, I am from the Punjab in Pakistan, and whenever we experience pain, we naturally say the word oi 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 oi. Now, this is a sound that doesn't really have a meaning, but it indicates that we are in pain or in distress. In the same ways, the Arabs, they have a similar word. This is one theory, that waw, alif and ya, when these are combined, they say why. So if an Arab, he experiences pain, he will usually, normally, without thinking, naturally these words will come from his mouth. And this is one of the reasons, this is one explanation to the words that are used. And sometimes these will appear in words waw, alif and ya, and they are termed as huruf-e-illat, sick letters or sick vowels. The second terminology on page number 9 is huruf-e-asliya. And inshallah, in a minute, I'm going to make a diagram on the board behind me, the whiteboard, and I will explain it to you. Huruf-e-asliya, they are root letters. They are root letters, and they refer to those letters which remain the same regardless of what form the verb or an ism or a noun is in and what scale it's on. For example, you see in English you use the word truth. Sometimes you say truthful. Truthfulness, they change. Truth, it will always remain when you say truthfulness or truthfully, but you will add additional letters. But the root letters are truth, for example. This is just a mere example. And in the same way, in the Arabic language, we have words that are considered to be huruf-e-asliya, meaning the root words, the root letters, the original letters, and anything that is attached afterwards, they would be called additional letters. So huruf-e-asliya would mean root letters. The root letters refer to those letters which remain same regardless of what form. See, a word changes. So sometimes daraba will become daribun. Sometimes it would become yadribu. But the dad and ra and ba, or fa'ala, fa'ilun, maf'ulun, fa'ilun, these are all, and you'll learn about them as we go through the book, inshallah, that the words change, additional letters are attached, sometimes letters are taken away, but whatever form a word is in, a kalima is in, it will, the huruf-e-asliya, the original letters, will always remain there. And this is one of the reasons they are called huruf-e-asliya. Sometimes the scale would change, sometimes the bab would change, but huruf-e-asliya would always remain intact. And I have given the example on page number 9, i.e. daraba, on the scale of fa'ala. These three are huruf-e-asliya, and it is a verb, it can be also a noun, and it comes in different forms. Then next you have the third terminology, which is huruf-e-zaida. So we have huruf-e-illat, huruf-e-asliya, and huruf-e-zaida. Huruf-e-zaida, they are the additional letters. The additional letters refer to those letters which are not found in all of the verbs or nouns, various forms, rather they change. So, for example, let's just say truth, truthfully, F, L, and Y would be additional letters. They would be sometimes attached, sometimes they would be taken away, but the huruf-e-asliya will always remain. But huruf-e-zaida are additional letters. They will be sometimes attached and sometimes taken away. And I have given the example. And like af'ala, you see the hamza on the scale, akrama on the scale of af'ala or adraba. You can see that the hamza before the kaf or the fa is huruf zaida, and it will sometimes remain, sometimes it will be taken away. But the original three letters are always there. And this is called, the original letters of a kalima are called mizan. There is something called mizan, a scale. So anything that you want to measure up, you would call it mawzoon. So for example, if you want a kilo of tomatoes and you go to the shop, the tomatoes would be mawzoon, and the scale 1 kilo in weight, this would be your mizan. So you would want to measure something on your mizan. Now in the same way in linguistic sciences, in sarf, this is what you are doing. You are measuring something, you are measuring a word on a particular scale. And inshallah in the next lesson we shall discuss this. But for this moment in time, so we have understood what huruf illat is, we have understood huruf asliya, huruf zaida, and we have understood what mizan is. Mizan is just merely a scale that is put together, and what you measure on the scale would be mawzoon. And this is discussed at page number 9 at bottom of the book. That is, if you turn to page number 10, whatever form, if you read at the top, whatever form the mawzoon is, it should be always measured on fa'ala. Now I have used the word daraba in my book, and I have followed some of the previous scholars who wrote books on sarf, but the original letters that are used in Ash-Shafiya or Fasul Akbari or any of the other books, Munshaib, they are fa'ala. Sarf-e Bihai, because I translated Sarf-e Bihai, Sarf-e Bihai used the word daraba. That is the reason that I use the word daraba. But the original letters which the classical scholars used was fa'ala. So sometimes fa'ala is the original letters, but you can change them. Inshallah, when we get into the book, we will try to apply these on Quran Majid, Furqan Hamid, and try to understand different words. So whatever the mawzoon, whatever the word that you are measuring, it should always be measured on the scale of fa'ala. So the fa'ala is the scale that you measure any word upon. The letters that conform to the scale are original letters, and these letters are termed as radicals. So if you go right to the back of the book, the beginning pages, lecture number 1, you will see that we have talked about this in the technical terms of morphology. They are called radicals. And so the daraba, dad would be on the scale of fa. This radical would be fa kalima, and the next one would be ra. That would be on the scale of la ain kalima. The ain radical on the scale of ain, and the ba, this radical would be on the scale of lam. So whatever would be in addition to this would be termed as additional letters, huruf zaida. And I have given the example akrama, and this, the hamza is addition, is a additional letter, and the rest are the original letters. And inshallah we will finish here today, and inshallah in lesson number 6 we will try to understand this further, and we will finish with Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. As-salatu was-salamu alayka ya Rasulullah wa ala alika wa ashabika ya Habib Allah. Ameen.